Hey everyone, and welcome to the Deal Machine Real Estate Investing Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Haywood. A little bit about me. Back in 2019, I started wholesaling as part of a 30-day wholesaling challenge. I got my first deal done in 14 days, and I've gone on since then and done over 400 transactions. Today, we've got Yash Sampat, who is a transitioning real estate agent, moving into wholesaling, trying to get into it full-time. We're going to walk you through how he got his first 3 deals on this episode and how he's looking forward to building even more wholesale deals in the future. All right, Yash, welcome to the Deal Machine Real Estate Investing Podcast. So break down how you've been in wholesaling for 3 months now.
Yep.
You've got 3 deals. Let's hear about those 3 deals.
Yeah. So all 3 deals we basically did like a text blast in different markets, text and cold calling. Those are the 2 main channels that we did, and then we got 3 deals out of that. It's pretty straightforward stuff. People were just looking to sell their property. One person was a tired landlord. The other one was I think it was like a pre-probate or probate. And the third one was, I can't remember what the third one was. I think that was just a tired landlord again. Same thing. Like he just was.
With your text blasting, are you doing that through a software or are you doing that just individual texts?
Yeah, so we use software. We use High Level for it. And then we are testing out some other softwares too. The thing with that is just you got to be careful because you can't really send too many at the same time. So you got to supplement that with like cold calling and stuff to get the most out of it.
How long did it take? How many texts did it take, and how long did it take to get a response that was like a legitimate lead?
I think on average, when we send out 2,000 text messages, we get about 10 to 15 people to get back to us. And then out of those, you'll get about like 1 to 3 that want to sell. Okay. ASAP type of a deal. And then you'll get some pipeline ones. But it's like about a 1% conversion rate from like how many people we reach out to how many people like basically like convert for us.
But what's their lead? You're like almost at 25 to 30% conversion from the point that it's a lead to the point that you got it as an actual deal. That's pretty good statistically. That's a pretty good number. What is your limit fees?
I do anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15K. I just make it easy for the end buyer to work with us, to be honest with you. It just depends, right? Like, I mean, if the deal is good and it works for both parties, I'll do like 10K. If it's like the deal is not good, it's okay, then I'll adjust my assignment fees, because it's better to just get something in than not get anything at all, because a lot of people just want to hit the home runs, get like 25, 30K, 40K, but it also needs to make sense after pair values for the end buyer or for the investor. If it doesn't make sense for them, there's no point like doing, like it's just going to be a waste of your time and their time. You might be able to finagle a deal here and there, but like long run, you're not going to be able to sustain that,
Yeah, totally. So you send out texts, you got 10 to 15 leads come from that. Now, somebody, let's say you got them converted. Well, let's just use these 3 that you got as an example. Let's just do the first one, the tired landlord. Did you go look at the house? How did you come up with your offer? Tell us about that process of submitting an offer to them.
So I just do virtually everything. I just look at PropStream, look at Zillow, look at what's being sold in the market. And then just give an estimated number based on like how much I think it will be. And then if there's like a lot more repairs than I anticipate, then I kind of like come back to them and be like, hey, thinking there's a lot more. We need to adjust the pricing on it. I think I can be close to this. Are you okay with that? Sometimes they'll say, no, I'm not okay with it. I'm like, cool, no problem. That's fine. You might have to just cancel it at this time. But most people will be like, yeah, let's just do it. That's fine.
Do you have a formula that you run so that you get your repair value? How do you come up with that actual offer number?
Yeah, so we do. So first we find out the ARV, potential ARV for the market using PropStream, Privy, and like some other tools. We also look at Zillow and stuff as well, and then from there, we look at like commissions. Like 7% commissions is usually. Then we have 5% holding costs, and then out of those, then you have to subtract the repairs, like how much repairs it would be, rehab numbers. So like we have an estimated rehab number that we use for a smaller house, like 1,000 square feet or so. It ranges from 15,000, can go up to 60,000 to 80,000, depending on the gut job. If it's like a gut job, it's like towards the end of that. But if it's like a bigger house, the values change dramatically. Like if it's like 2,000 square feet type of house, then the numbers are going to look a lot different for rehab. But it's just it's like a guesstimate that you're taking. And then from there, once you have that number, that's the number that you offer to the seller. And then you add your wholesaling fees to that number, and then you sell that to the end buyer.
All right. So here's what I'm throwing you in the fire here. Let's pretend like I have a house, like I'm a qualified lead. I've got 3-bedroom, 1 bath, 1,000 square feet. I'm a distressed landlord. It needs carpet. It needs paint. It needs, well, not carpet. Let's just say flooring, LVP. It needs new light fixtures and window blinds. But it's not like hugely distressed. It needs a nice freshen up, clean up. I want to sell it. I want to get rid of it. What are you offering me?
Well, the first question is like, how much do you want for it?
Well, I think it's worth like 100,000.
Okay, 100,000. Cool, no problem. All right. How did you come up with that number?
I looked at Zillow, and I seen that the Zestimate is like 150, but I know it needs some work. So That's why I'm saying 100,000.
Okay, cool. All right. And why are you looking to sell? What's going on?
I'm done. I've done the landlording thing. I just want to start offloading some of these properties one at a time and move on.
Okay, cool. And then you said there's not that much repair work that needs to be done for it?
No, I would qualify it as like light. It needs some light work. It probably needs painted, though. Its light fixtures are out of date. Flooring probably needs updated. So I would just say it needs a light cleanup.
Roofing, plumbing, any of that stuff.
They're not new, but they're not terribly old either.
Okay. When you say you replaced it a couple of years ago, like 10 years ago?
They were 10 years, both all the HVAC. I would say that it's all probably 10 years old.
10 years old. Okay, so you got a couple more years on that. Okay, cool. So what we can do is I'll run some numbers for you, and I'll give you a call back in 15-20 minutes, and see what we can do numbers wise. Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll just do it on the call if I can. But if I'm not in front of the computer, I'd be like, hey, I'll call in 15-20 minutes. Go check the numbers in PropStream, see what it looks like. Be like, hey, based on what you're telling me, like I'm looking at the comps in your neighborhood. With all the repairs and everything, I can come close to, like, if we take care of the fees and everything for you, what is the best number you could do? Just so I have an idea, can you tell me about that?
So you don't actually go, you're not actually on the appointments. You're doing this all over the phone.
Yeah, over the phone, virtually. Just like, yeah. It's not that difficult. I mean, it's like, you need to get used to it. Definitely. Like it's a skill set, and I fuck up all the time too, but like, sorry, I don't know if I could say that, but you can, yeah, but it's just, it's a skill set. Like you got to get used to it a little bit.
Okay. So let's say you've done your numbers. Let's say you could confirm ARV around 100,000 or 150, like I had said. Give us an example of, now you're calling them back. Here's your offer. I'll try to be a good customer. Let's get an example of this conversation.
Mm-hmm. So, based on what you're saying, like I can do around 80K based on the comms that we have here. Because the property down the street sold for this much, another property sold for this much. If you look at 5 miles down the street, sold for this much. And so I can do around 80K. Does that work for you?
Okay, how long is it going to take to close this out?
Well, do you live there right now, or are you living somewhere else? You live somewhere else?
Yep.
Okay. We can do it in about 60 days or so.
Okay. So you give, that's interesting. So 60 days. Now, so that's actually, that sets a very good, that's a large gap of time. So you have, now, okay, let me ask you this. For these three that you've got, you've already identified your buyer. Do you close them sooner if you can? Or you just leave it at 60 days and wait?
Like out of the 3 properties, 1 property is like super hard right now. And I was like, I just wanted more time personally, because I was like, I don't know if I can find a buyer for this stuff. Right? We'll give it a shot. Like any new business, you need some time. Like you can't just like rush into it, and then you're like rushing into things, trying to like close shit down. That said, but I'm very communicative with the seller. So every 2-3 days, I'll send a text message, hey, how's it going? Just working on things. Things are looking good on our side. Let me know if you have any questions. Like I do that. Like there's like every 2-3 days, I keep a reminder to do that, so that the seller doesn't.
You guys all by yourself, or do you have a team? I mean, I would assume it's by yourself.
I just do everything by myself right now. I have a team for the agency, which I use a little bit on the side, but not that much. Like they most of the stuff I do it myself right now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, doing the deal volume right now, it's not necessary to. That's one thing that I see a lot. These guys that are looking to get started, they feel like they gotta have a VA here, and they need this person. It's like, really, you need to just get your deals, the process done first, then expand.
Hey guys, if you know you want to quit your job in the next 3 months, make sure you're subscribed to this podcast, because we've got some incredible frameworks with step-by-step instruction that you're not going to want to miss. Also, leave us a rating and review to let us know your favorite parts and why you want to get financial freedom.
So, all right, now let's talk. You've got the deals under contract. How did you find your buyers?
Facebook groups, and then I use PropStream, and I use DealMachine to find their phone numbers. So I do this. I basically Facebook groups. I do that, multiple groups. Sometimes I'll find a buyer. Sometimes I won't. Like that's the name of the game. And then I would.
How do you find it? You put a post out there. You just look at who's active.
No, just put post out there. Try to find. If I have time, like I'd manually go in and find people too. But it's hard. Like I don't have time to do that. So I try to post it, and then people respond. If they respond, then that's great. That means it's a good deal. If it's not a good deal, I try to adjust the pricing a little bit and go from there. Because then you got to adjust the pricing. Like usually if the deal's not good, then the pricing's it's not working on the pricing side, right? So that's something to keep in mind. So Facebook group and then PropStream, I basically go cash buyers, see who has more than 3 properties that sold in the last year or so, reach out to them, and go from there. So like I take that address, go into DealMachine, see if I can find their phone numbers, cold call them, text them, and then I find buyers through that process. It's a new system for me, so I'm not really sure what the hell I'm doing, but like that's what I've been doing based on some research and stuff. And it's been working okay so far.
Nice. And so you've been at, how did you find wholesaling? What brought you into the wholesaling idea?
So I've been in the agency space for 4 years now already, and I was kind of burnt out by it too much and needed to make more money. Like we do good, but I just like too much headache with dealing with clients and stuff, and it's a lot more work in the back end. I was like, this wholesaling seems interesting. I already generate leads. I know how to do that. Why don't I just use the same process to do wholesaling? Because average deal size, even if I get 5 to 10K, that's like lifetime value of my customer. Plus, I don't have to deal with chargebacks and stuff. And it's a smaller operation. I'm not dealing with like 50 people. We could easily do like $100K a month just by doing wholesaling. So I was like, okay, let's just try it out. See, my agency's still doing well, but let's try it out, see if it works before we transition full time into doing this. So that's where it's at. Basically, that's how I got into wholesaling. And then one of my friends who was my mentor, he started doing it, and he started doing like 50K months, 60K months, and like low stress, low overhead. I was like, this is great. Just give it a shot,
Yeah, those are the good months. It's funny too how easy it is to build it. I mean, a lot of people kind of get intimidated by the whole startup, but really it's just taking action. And for you, like sending 2,000 texts, that math. Now that 2,000 texts is going to generate 10 to 15 leads. And then out of those leads, you take and you qualify those to get about 3 deals. So that's awesome. Tell me about your agency. What is the agency that you have that you're doing on your agent side?
So we do real estate lead generation for them on the seller side, basically. So we generate the same process that we do for wholesaling. We use for that, but we also have some advertising components to it too. So it's like a combination of it, but the same process. So we just generate leads for real estate agents on the seller side that want to basically get sellers that want to sell their home. It's not for cash. Usually, like a lot of people do, like for wholesaling, it's more cash buyers. There's more retail buyers that we're going after that want to sell their property for a higher price.
Nice. And so you generate that leads, and then how do you share that with other customers, or you just use those leads for yourself?
No. I mean, if the client, so each client gets their own setup. We get about 10 to 15 zip codes from them. They want to target. We reach out to the homeowners in those areas for them, see who's interested in selling, and then we send them their way. We also do any sort of advertising for them on Google, YouTube, and Facebook if they want to do that as well. But it's usually like a combination of all 3 channels that we use.
Nice. What's in the future? What's the plan is for the next 6 months?
6 months. I mean, I just want to transition full time into wholesaling. That's what I might do. Just a little bit lower stress for me. Because we've been grinding it out for the past 4 or 5 years. And I was like, I need something that I can have a little bit less stress. Because the agency side, once you get it up and running, it can get stressful once you have like a decent sized team and stuff. And the overheads increase as well. So sure, you can get clients results and stuff, but most people, even though they are business owners, they are not good business owners, if you know what I'm saying, right? They kind of try something, they like it, and then they're like, okay, well, I'm not really sure if I want to do this, type of a deal. Or they don't convert a lead. Same with wholesaling, man. Anybody who's starting wholesaling, they try stuff for 1 month. Oh, it's not working. Wholesaling doesn't work. Well, it's not like that. You got to keep at it, right? When the going gets tough gets going, you know what I'm saying? So you got to keep putting in the effort, and you will see success. It takes some time, but if you keep going, then you'd get there.
Yeah, when I started wholesaling in 2019. Very different market, very different real estate market then than it is now. And it almost seemed like anybody could wholesale stuff because it was so easy. Everybody wanted to invest in real estate, so it was so easy to get a deal and it was so easy to find a buyer. But in a market that we're in now where interest rates are higher, it's harder to find deals. Not only is it harder to find deals, it's harder to find investors because there's a smaller number of investors that can work in a market where there's high interest rates. And it's usually your best buyers are the ones that buy in a market like what we have today. But it's absolutely, it's possible because we've been able to continue functioning smoothly as well through this difference in what 2019 to 2024, the difference in 5 years of what it is now. We've been able to continue consistently getting deals, but it's all about consistency, keeping that level of doing the same actions. If you know you get results by doing this, then keep doing that, because the moment that you let that go, then it's going to get stressful. You're like, where's all the deals? Well, you haven't done marketing for 4 weeks. Like, what do you expect? So you're 100% right. Just staying consistent, even when it's tough and it doesn't seem like you're getting anything, keeping consistency with the marketing platform and keeping going. So congratulations on getting 3 transactions. I can't wait to hear back from you when all of those are closed and you're sitting on $20,000 cash. That's going to be exciting for you. Any last words that you would have for somebody looking to get started in wholesaling?
Yeah, I love DealMachine. It's great. Like I was always looking. I was like looking at. I didn't even know you guys existed. I was like randomly on a Saturday or Sunday. I was just sitting. I was like, dude, these data costs are expensive, and I'm spending shit ton of money on this. I got to figure out a way to like get it cheaper. Because everybody, I feel like when I use skip tracers on like online or when I use other data companies, problem with that is you are spending a ton of money on skip tracers and they are using True People Search or FastPeopleSearch.com. Like that's the data that they're giving. I'm like, dude, that's not like valid data. That's like data, but like everybody has access to that. Why I need to hire you for this stuff? You know, you're just putting data from one place to another and charging me like so much money for it. And I was like, all right, let's just do DealMachine. I didn't even know. And then somewhere I saw like one video, somebody was saying about TLO, and DealMachine TLO or something like that. And I was like, what is this stuff? Like, let's just Google it. And I Googled it and I was like, well, this is great. And then I saw yours and then I was going to do Experian. Reached out to Experian. Experian is like, we don't do like real estate stuff. I was like, all right, screw you guys. You guys wasted my time. I signed up with you guys. First day I signed up for the highest package, $500. And then I got 3 more options. I got like 3 more accounts. I was like, I need more data. And we just got more. I was like, this is great. Like, you can, like, even if you like use one whole data set for like, instead of 100,000 records or something, you get for it. Like, let's say you do 100,000 text messages for the right, or like you cold call 100,000 people in a month. It's insane. Like, you're going to get like a couple of deals out of it. Like, easy. It's like easy, like 20, 30, 40K right there, sitting right there. It's like mad easy. It's not difficult at all. Like, I'm like, this is great. And I feel like I wish I found you guys earlier, but I was like, all right, let's just do it.
Dude, I'm a DealMachine customer as well. I've been a DealMachine customer since 2019 when I started, and it has just changed dramatically since from when I've had it, when I first got it to now. It's completely different. But love getting the skip tracing, the extra data that you can pull is phenomenal. It really is. So, Yash, thank you so much for your time today. I hope that you have an awesome afternoon. And I look forward to getting this episode of the podcast out for everyone to hear.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for listening to the DealMachine Real Estate Investing Podcast. Please leave us a review and follow along wherever you're listening to your podcast.